Is there any point in being honest in this day and age? That's the question I'm putting to you today. Because we live in a time where there is absolutely tons of fakeness going on, isn't there? There's fake news. Pretty much everything on social media is fake these days, whether that's fake body parts or things like that. But a lot of content on social media is fake these days, designed to get you all emotional and upset sometimes. Some stuff is just because people are trying to get likes to a page, like farming, and it can be on any subject. It can be celebrities, it can be even history nowadays. AI can create convincing images of things that people will put out and then put a nice AI story to it that makes it sound believable, and lots of people will fall for it. So there's lots of fakeness and lies in the world. So is there any point being honest anymore? I think there is. My name's Stuart Wellborn. Who I am is irrelevant. I'm just a simple guy trying to make his way in the universe, hoping to have done more good than harm when it's time to check out. And behind me, as usual, is my best pal, Beowulf, who wasn't behind me last week. This is the 9th in 13 videos that I plan to create. I did plan to pre-record them before I release the first one, but that didn't work out. I'm actually recording this one on the day it's coming out again. And so this is number 9. And in these videos I'm showing a clip from a TV show or a movie with some sort of message for you to contemplate. And today's clip is from the film Excalibur, which I think is 1980 it came out. Obviously it's about the it's about King Arthur and his legend. And to me it's the best King Arthur type film. Not historically, but if you go on the romanticised version of King Arthur, it's the best one. The costumes are great, the cast's great. You've got music from Wagner, you've got when they're all charging off on the horses, you've got O Fortuna. I must have watched this film, it's probably the second film I've watched the most, if that makes sense. In all films, I've watched it more than Star Wars, and Star Wars is one of my favourite films. I must have watched Excalibur at least 100 times. I watched it a hell of a lot when I was a teenager, and it's had some impacts on me, I'm sure, the chivalry code. So we're going to put a short clip from Excalibur on now, and then I'm going to give a little bit of commentary about telling the truth afterwards.
It's only your example, Lancelot, that binds them. Which is the greatest quality of knighthood? Courage, compassion, loyalty, humility? What do you say, Merlin?
The greatest. Well, they blend. Like the metals we mix to make a good sword.
No poetry, just a straight answer. Which is it?
All right, then. Truth. That's it. Yes, it must be truth. Above all. When a man lies, he murders some part of the world. You should know that.
There we go. Merlin putting the case forward for why you shouldn't lie, why you should be honest. And so I'm going to just say a few words about honesty now, why I think it's still important to try and be honest if you can. Not even telling little white lies. You don't necessarily have to tell the whole truth, but being honest is good, because if you're the kind of person that gets a reputation for always telling the truth, people will know where they stand with you and come to you for advice. I mean, my brother probably thinks I'm a dick in most areas, but he does know that if he comes to me, he will get the truth from me. I first became a more honest person, shall we say, after reading a book by Brad Blanton, which I happen to have here, Radical Honesty. I read that in 2009 when I was still working as a therapist part-time, in a health centre. And Radical Honesty is about telling the truth all the time, and there's more to it than that, but employing that tactic can also get you into hot water, because sometimes it's best just not to say anything. And I fall foul of that sometimes. But the thing is, if you're going to be a liar, you've got to have a good memory. Now, we all know that politicians lie. And I'm not even going to mention any names, because lots of them do lie or bend the truth. But if you're going to be a liar, you've got to have a good memory. And there's a few politicians that spring to mind, not just one who's popular in the news at the moment, who would categorically deny saying something that was, on the screen, on the news, or, in front of reporters that he said a couple of days ago. Lots of politicians have done that. And, they get away with it, because providing they still stick to that quote, or saying, let's just go with Donald Trump, for example. He denied saying something about Zelensky the other day, which we all saw him say. And then, but as long as he keeps saying "Make America Great Again," he's got his hardcore supporters, so he can lie all he likes. I don't think those hardcore supporters will ever change their mind. And that's not just him, that's other politicians as well. And but most people will see the light and eventually go, well, that person's full of shit, I'm not going to follow them anymore. But they may still vote for him if it's a politician. But my point I want to make there is that if you're going to be a liar, you really need to be having a good memory, because politicians might get away with it, but you're not a politician. So if you're lying to a close friend or family member, it's going to impact your relationship into if you are lying and then get caught out. And the other good thing about being honest is, if you do make a cock up and you put your hand up and go, yep, I fucked up there, if you tell that person the truth, well, how they would have reacted if they found out themselves is going to be, hang on, what am I trying to say? If you're honest, the reaction you're going to get from them is not going to be as bad as if they found out the truth for themselves. So that's why I still think it's worth being honest, even though everything is fake these days. As I say, AI can pretty much clone anything these days. All our pictures are online, so if somebody wanted to, they could probably create an AI version of you. And voice prints are, if you've ever done a video. So there's another way that you could be cloned and turned into a video that's very believable. I would imagine, though, if I was going to create an AI version of myself, I would probably give myself better teeth, like the kind of smile you can only get in Turkey. And I'd give myself a better skin tone, so that when I'm in the light, I don't look like some Nosferatu pasty fucker. So anyway, that's it for this video. If you found it useful in any way, the only way I'll know is to give me a thumbs up or one of the other emojis. If this is the 9th, I'm doing 4 more at least, and a few people have been clicking like, so I may do some more after that. We'll see. I've got some other things in the pipeline, which I'll be sharing something. Today's Tuesday, on Thursday, which I think is will be very interesting to anybody who's into a spiritual path. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'll be sharing a little clip probably tomorrow of what that's all about. But the main video will be coming out on Thursday, I think. That's when I'm going to be sharing it. It's part of a podcast, video podcast. But if you're into spiritual type stuff, you might want to check that out. And if you want to see more of these videos and be alerted and all that kind of stuff, then press the like, subscribe, follow button. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'll be back with another short clip from a TV show or movie next week. So see you next Tuesday.